Hey y'all, and welcome to Politibrawl. My name is Brian, and these border agents who are doing their best to stem the tide of the flood that keeps on coming across our southern border are out here supporting Donald Trump, and this is exactly what the doctor ordered. But before we dive in, I want to give a quick shout out to our great sponsors over at Colonial Metals Group. They quite literally have the cure to Bidenflation and Harris economics, but more on that later. Now, let's dive in.
America, I have a message for you. If we allow Borders R. Harris to win this election, every city, every community in this great country is going to go to hell. The untold millions of people, unvetted, who she has allowed into this country that are committing murders, rapes, robberies, burglaries, and every other crime will continue to put our country in peril. Only one man can fix that. That is Donald J. Trump. He has always stood with the men and women who protect this border, who put their lives on the line for the country. A man who knows about putting his life on the line for what is right. This November, we have a choice to make. Continue the chaos, allow the criminal cartels to control the border, to allow drugs and fentanyl across our country, or put an end to it once and for all. On behalf of the 16,000 men and women represented by the National Border Patrol Council, we strongly support and endorse Donald J. Trump for President of the United States.
And who could blame them? Seriously, who are they going to support? The man who said, hey, we need to build a wall, we need to deal with the fentanyl crisis, we have illegal immigrants committing terrible crimes, or the actual border czar, which the media continues to lie about, under the Biden administration, whose one job it was, besides, casting tiebreaker votes for terrible pieces of legislation, whose one job it was to go down to the border and see what she could do to help fix it. Yeah, give me a break. Of course they're going to support Donald Trump. And when it comes to illegal immigration, I've met good illegal immigrants, I've met mean illegal immigrants. I've worked alongside with them. Some of them are very hard workers and trying to provide for their families. Some are mildly hard workers and just don't care. All right? And then it turns out that in my home state, at the University of Georgia, which, by the way, Athens, Clarke County, I'm specifically talking to the people who live there, and you know this to be true. Georgia Bulldog fans, you know this to be true. Athens, Clarke County is a literal third world country that has a nice little resort in the middle. And in that resort, an illegal immigrant who was detained multiple times by New York City for violent offenses and was even briefly detained for knowingly coming across the border illegally, but was released anyways, was mad that this girl by the name of Laken Riley wouldn't submit her body to him, and thus he took a hammer and ended her life. Her name is Laken Riley. Democrat politicians, from New York City to Athens, Clarke County, to the President of the United States, Joe Biden, and his border czar, Kamala Harris, have blood on their hands because they don't do their jobs at the border. Hey y'all, I'm not exactly looking at retirement anytime soon, but my parents are, and friends of my parents are, and I'm sure either you or someone you know is looking at retirement and wondering, what do I do? How do I help prepare for this in this economy with this terrible president and with a vice president who basically coup d'etat him and is now looking to run for president herself? How do you protect against this? Well, simple. you go over to my friends at Colonial Metals Group. They quite literally have something called the Retirement Package Plan. This plan backs your wealth with gold and silver accounts. And furthermore, you will have direct access to these accounts. So you're not at the whims of Wall Street. You're not at the whims of inflation. You are in command of your own destiny. As a bonus, qualified applicants can receive up to $10,000 in free silver, plus a couple of other little goodies that they're going to package up for you, and you're going to be able to protect your wealth and your retirement. So go over to this link in the description below at colonialmetalsgroup.com or call this number 800-203-0422 and see how they can help you prepare for retirement today by backing your account with gold and silver. Don't delay your retirement, folks. Protect the money that you earned with Colonial Metals Group. They're here to help. What they will do, however, is they'll sit there in conference calls and they'll sit there in the media conferences and they'll say, don't take it out on the illegal immigrants. Don't be mean to them. This was an accident. This is a horrible tragedy, but don't blame the illegal immigrants. We're not blaming illegal immigrants. People who are committing crimes, we blame them for the crimes. But then we ask ourselves, who is responsible for allowing this to happen? It's not Republicans. I don't think there's a single Republican in Athens-Clarke County that's been elected. I can't think of one, although I'm not from that area of Georgia. So correct me if I'm wrong. There's probably a state rep out there somewhere, but it's mostly a Democrat council. But they know they're in a third world country, and they rule like they're in a third world country. Then there was New York City, who has been Democrat since Rudy Giuliani and was Democrat before then. And under Rudy Giuliani, they actually got crime under control. Funny how that keeps happening. You elect Republicans at local levels, particularly in mayor races. This happened down in Miami. They finally elected a Republican because the Cubans were tired of living under borderline socialist rule. They know what that's like. So they elected a Republican, Suarez, I believe. And lo and behold, Miami got a whole lot better. Things got cleaner. The economy was better. Funny how that just seems to happen under Republicans. Then you have I just explained New York City's situation, and we know their DA is currently terrible. Alvin Bragg does not do his job. And then you have a presidential candidate who was appointed by Joe Biden as the border czar, which underneath Joe Biden, illegal immigration skyrocketed. Okay? It used to be, the number almost 15 years ago was 12 million people. I remember hearing J.D. Vance just the other day saying that now the number is 25 million. Buster, I can believe that because of the amount of illegal immigrants that has come ever since they ended not the Remain in Mexico, but I believe there was a policy during the unspecified virus of unknown origin. And even the Democrats kept that for a while until the weirdest part of their party said that we need to end this policy, and thus illegal immigration got worse. And you know what? It's not even the fact that it's Venezuelan criminals that are crossing our border, which, by the way, their government quite literally releases them, says, hey, go north, go to America, just get out of here. That used to be a myth. It is now a cold, hard reality. Then you also have people fleeing El Salvador because they were criminals, and at least their government there actually did something about the gang violence. And now people are escaping justice and coming over our border. This isn't just a fentanyl crisis that has wrecked major cities. Philadelphia, if you drive around Philadelphia, it's not a ghost town, it is a zombie town. That's like ground zero for the fentanyl crisis. But it's not just out there. The reason J.D. Vance is so passionate about what he does is because he's seen what alcohol and drug abuse can do to a family. And that is going on across rural America today. It is just inundated Appalachia, from Appalachia all the way into California. We can fix this. With the right policies and with the right people in government, not Alejandro Mayorkas that continue to misuse government funds, not Joe Biden who took money from FEMA and then allocated it to Mayorkas to just continue to just piss away. I don't like saying the term that our government hates us, but I do know for a fact that rich white liberals will throw down their chamber pots and wonder why the people below them are screaming in agony. Well, yeah, you just dumped a whole pile of urine and excrement upon the average person who is looking up in this ivory tower and wondering what you did to deserve that. Okay? And wondering what they did to deserve having excrement flung upon them. There is a fundamental problem in the United States, and that is that the Democrat Party, which is run by these rich white liberals who cater to these rich white liberals, don't care about what happens outside of their gated communities. I've seen that with my own eyes. I've interacted with these people. They don't know, they don't care, and the moment that it affects their lives, half of them will just reject the truth that they're seeing, and the other half will quietly whisper to their friends that they know that they can get away with and say, I think we were in the wrong. It's starting to happen, but not in enough numbers. These people will never, as a group, fully understand just the horrors that have been unleashed upon the average Joe here in America. I've seen it with my own eyes. We have to get a grip on this problem. And that's why these border agents are thumping the table for Donald Trump, because at least he's going to try to get some of this problem shored up. It's tough to deal with the way our government is set up, but we can deal with this. We can fix this problem. This is America. We are a pioneer nation moving things forward with the ideals of freedom enshrined in our Declaration of Independence. We can bring back quality to American citizens again. We deserve this. We deserve a good government. We deserve to have a safe and secure border. And we deserve to have our streets cleaned up. And I think that is the minimum standard for us American citizens. Folks, my name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed that segment here on Politibrawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. And until then, y'all have a good one.